Hello, my name is Alina Ruiz. I am an RN BSN and a student of University of Texas at Arlington's graduate nursing program for nurse administration. This brief presentation is intended as part of the curriculum for the Leadership and Healthcare Systems courses, which is part of the Nursing Administration graduate program. And today I'm going to present to you a book review on the book by James Casas and Barry Posner called The Student Leadership Challenge: 5 Practices for Exemplary Leaders. Now, this particular publication sold over 1.8 million in printed copies, and both of the writers have over 30 pieces of literature published together. Both of them are tenured professors at the Levy School of Business in Santa Clara University in California. James Casas was also recognized as Wall Street Journal's one of the top 20 executive educators, and he is also a public speaker and a seminar leader. Now, the content of the book is a quick read. It introduces to readers to the basic idea of leadership, and then further goes into the 5 practices, as the title suggests, of an exemplary leader. Now, the 5 practices first is model the way, and that means that leaders are supposed to show example of not only achieving goals, but how they go about pursuing their goals. And basically showing excellence to other people. The next practice is inspire a shared vision, and this particular practice discusses envisioning a future and creating a vision, and then following through with making that vision come true. The next practice is challenge the process, and this is all about innovation. This speaks about leaders as brave and risk-taking individuals, because the only way to create a new process is to initiate a change, which can be a scary process, and therefore leaders should also be prepared for failures, because there's no success without failures. The next practice presented in the book is enable others to act, and this means to teach others through respect and recognize them for extraordinary actions, and to strive to create an atmosphere of dignity and collaboration. The final practice presented in the book is called Encourage the Heart, and this just means that this practice is about a leader being someone who in their heart believes what they preach and how they act, and in that sense is an inspirational individual to those around him. A leader is able to self-reflect and in order to make a productive change within themselves, but also is able to recognize their accomplishments. One of the quotations that I wanted to mention from the book is it's about practices they use to transform values into actions, visions into realities, obstacles into innovations, and separateness into solidarity, and risks into rewards. And this is a quote from the book. The target audience for this particular piece of literature are high school, more of high school graduates, maybe undergraduate college students, The reason that assumption was made is that the examples in the book are of simpler nature. So they pertain to someone who is just finding out about leadership, and not someone who is already in a leadership role. So I would say they're quite a bit simplified. However, the book is an easy read. One of the examples which I wanted to bring as an example of how simple some of the parts of the books are is the book encourages leaders to take a class and join an extracurricular activity as showing an effort to grow as a leader. Strength of the text were that the book is concise. It was easy. It was an easy read for the purpose of this class and for the purpose of book report. The access to information is simple, is fast and organized. The main concepts are laid out clearly and separated by chapters, which again made it simple to organize in my mind how the content of the book. The book is divided into chapters, and each practice which is recommended by the authors is divided into a separate chapter, which makes it easier to reference to. Finally, the 5 practices come with several concrete examples, which allows a better understanding of what the author's intentions are. Some of the shortcomings that I felt were in the book is just that the language and the examples are a bit oversimplified. I would say as I mentioned earlier, the target audience for the book is probably someone in an undergrad college program, or maybe even a high school senior. I felt that the examples and the practices that the authors are advising are probably for someone who is just now exploring the idea of leadership, and not someone who is already in the leadership role and is trying to better grow into that role. I felt that the goals that were presented in the beginning of the book by the authors were achieved, in the sense that, well, this book sold 1.8 million copies, so clearly it is a useful piece of literature for people who are trying to grow into leaders. And as the authors promised, the 5 practices were thoroughly explained and examples brought for the reader to be able to understand and explore every practice thoroughly. And I felt that the book is organized in such a manner that if I do need to reference back to it for any given reason, it would be easy to find what I'm looking for because of the way that the chapters are broken down. I would recommend this book to anyone who is beginning to pursue the idea of leadership and does not know where to start. I think it would be a good read for someone who is a beginning leader as well, someone who's in a leadership role already but have not had much experience in it. I felt that I definitely learned several strategies that I will be able to utilize in my personal growth journey as a leader. And that is it. Thank you so much.